Does it ever feel like land is getting harder and harder to own? Kind of like Area 51. Everyone knows it exists, but only a few get to peek inside. Well, today I'm going to show you a number of land deals that make land ownership affordable and also, just for fun, cover one of America's biggest mysteries. So here's what's coming up today. I'll give you some quick property updates, what's on hold, what's coming up. I'll go over our deal of the day, and then we'll dive into Area 51, the history, the rumors, and the land around it, of course, because this live stream is about land. And I'll wrap up with a fact of the day and a free gift for everyone who joined. So let's get started. Now, if you're new here, my name is Erica. I have a company, Gokche Capital. I buy and sell vacant land. Our website is gokchecapital.com, and you can find all of our listings under Buy Land. You can also find them at land.gokcap.com. Now, I will note, hi, Zaphael. Good to see you again. So just a quick update from yesterday. Our last Putnam County property went on hold. I'm hoping we will be getting more soon because Putnam seems to be popular. But in the meantime, we do have properties in North Carolina, South Carolina, New Mexico, Colorado, Oregon, New York, and a few other properties in Florida as well in other counties. I think Abby, who's not quite on yet, would also like me to call out our latest feature, which shows you which properties are the most viewed. Similar to yesterday, it's still our property in Bamberg County, South Carolina, and our property in Castilla County, but they switched spots. Our South Carolina property is now the most viewed, followed by Castilla County. And we are going to be getting more Castilla County properties very soon. We do have a few more in South Carolina in the works, but those will probably be a couple weeks out still. So they seem to be popular. We should be getting more. However, for today, I want to highlight one of our value picks. We have another new feature. It shows our value picks. So our number one value pick is our property in Pamlico County. This is a little over half an acre. This is actually one of Abby's, my partner, for anyone who's new here. He'll be showing up soon. This is one of his favorites just because it's a very beautiful area. Now, Pamlico County is eastern North Carolina on the water. We're off of the Pamlico Sound. So the water is right here. It's actually close to Dawson Creek. I thought that this was the Dawson Creek there was a old sitcom, Dawson's Creek, which I never watched, but I remember the ads for. It's actually, that was set in a different state, but I thought of that sitcom when I saw Dawson Creek. It's a nice community. The lot is right next to the clubhouse. You'll see it's on Clubhouse Drive, and I do want to show the drone footage because it is really pretty. The homes here are fairly high-value homes, so this is, a nice community to invest in. Homes are worth a fair amount here. It's also a fairly big lot. So I'll show the drone footage. Now, I will say who this is for and who this isn't. This is a HOA property. I know not everyone likes HOA properties. So it does come with the HOA restrictions, but it does also mean that you get the amenities. At this HOA, I showed the clubhouse. It does have clubhouse amenities. It also has boat slips. There's a private marina in this HOA, so you get your own boat slip with the lot. And because it is in an HOA, the property values are a little bit higher. The home values are a little bit higher than the surrounding area. So if you built a home, it would have a decent valuation. So that would be a good way to increase the value of the lot pretty quickly. So this is a good lot for someone who's either looking for an investment property or wants a home near the water. If you like fishing or boating, you'd have your own spot on the marina. Probably a good spot for someone who's looking for their retirement home or perhaps a smaller vacation home. Beautiful area near the water. And we have priced this at, let me scroll up, $26,293 plus the dock fee. This is for sale by owner, which means owner financing is also available. That'll make this more affordable. Just let us know what down payment and monthly payment would work for you, and we will work with you to find something that fits your budget. And you do have the option, as with all of our for sale by owner properties, to hold the property while you do your due diligence. And should you find that this property doesn't work for you, you can apply that hold fee to another property as long as you buy within 30 days. So that's another new feature we added recently. This way you can be sure that you get the property that actually works for you. All right. So that's the deal of the day today. We do have a number of other properties if you want to take a look at them. But now we'll get on to the fun part. So today's live stream is just for fun because Zaphael made a joke yesterday about Area 51. I thought just for fun, we would cover Area 51, try to make it land related. But today we'll just, do you get access to the water? Yes, because you do have, just going back to the Pamlico County property. In case you missed it, also this is number 704 in the table. It does come with a spot on the public marina, so you do get access to the water there. And you do get a spot to park your boat. That's your own private boat slip in the private marina. And on top of that, as I showed on the map, you're very close to the clubhouse, which you'll have access to as part of the community. Okay, so today's live stream is just for fun, Area 51, because why not? All right, so I know that Area 51 has been a story for decades. We now know a little bit more about its actual history and what's going on there, so I thought I would cover that in today's live stream. Does the boat come with the land? No, we're not selling a boat, but you might be able to get an affordable one in the nearby vicinity. I'm sure lots of people own boats, and there might be used boats for sale nearby. So Area 51, was it actually an alien test site? Now, I'm sure this live stream is not going to convince anyone otherwise, but according to the research, it was a test site, but originally for the U-2 spy plane built in the 40s during World War II. And Area 51 started out as a very remote corner of the U.S., and the perfect spot to develop in secret the military's latest airplane. This was supposed to be the latest and greatest technology. Hopefully it was going to help us win World War II, and we didn't want any of our enemies to spy on us and see what we were developing. So the military looked for one of the most remote areas in the U.S. that could still function as an airfield. All right, let's see a map. I think I actually have a map here. No, this doesn't actually have a map. So let's pull it up. Well, this is an aerial footage of the actual base. Let's just pull it up in Google Maps. It's really large, by the way. It's the largest, one of the largest bases in the U.S. And it is in Nevada, of course. So let's zoom out here. Here's Las Vegas, and it is in the middle of the desert. It is actually an old lake bed, a dried out lake bed. That's what this is here. So it's in the middle of the desert just north of Las Vegas. And it is 2.9 million acres altogether, 2.9 million. It's part of the Nevada Test and Training Range. That's, just for some context, 2.9 million acres is larger than the state of Connecticut. So it's a very large base. Most of that is because they wanted airspace for flying test planes. And some of that, too, is just to keep it secret. So you want, like, a lot of land around it so no one can see what's going on. And they've tested a number of airplanes here. There was the U-2. Its first official test flight was here. They also tested, is this opening? Here's some images from the 60s. They also tested the A-12 Oxcart, D-21 drone, SR-71 Blackbird, and the F-1117 Nighthawk stealth fighter. I don't know what any of those planes are, but if you're a military buff, you might. And is any of the land near Area 51 for sale? Yes, right outside of the area. There's actually a small town right outside of Area 51, which is a big tourist stopover spot. I think only 50 people live there, but you could get land. An interesting land fact about Area 51 is that the government, on multiple occasions seized more land because they were trying to expand the restricted area, in part because the public kept finding vantage points that would allow them to take photos of the base. So at various points in history, here's the first one was in 1984. The government seized private land in order to expand the restricted area and prevent the public from viewing the base. What county? I didn't look that up. Let me find out. It's probably multiple counties, given its size. So it's between Lincoln County and Nye County. But the heart of the base is Groom Lake, which is Lincoln County. So, interesting fact. They do have tours every now and then now from Las Vegas, so maybe we should go someday. Tours not of the heart of the base, but around the area. You can't actually go in the base itself, but that would be fun. Or if anyone is visiting Las Vegas, they don't do it often, but it would be a fun activity. So there were a number of land grabs, they were called, associated with Area 51. I thought I'd talk about that because I have to relate it to land, right? In 1984, 89,000 acres was taken to expand the restricted area. It was primarily to cut off vantage points because members of the public kept trying to see the base because, of course, the rumors were going around that there was alien technology there. And again, there was a similar instance of government annexing land in 1995. It was Freedom Ridge. There was a hilltop that had a rare view of part of the base. It was called Freedom Ridge, and people would hike up there, bring tripods and telescopes, and try to catch a glimpse of the base. And eventually, military got fed up with, how did it get associated with aliens? So there was a man who claimed that he used to work there and had seen alien technology. And he was the one who initially made the idea that Area 51 was a base where the military was experimenting with alien technology. He started that narrative. It was never really, he never really had proof. Let me find a good site for that. Bob Lazar, that was his name. He first told his story in an interview with Las Vegas TV, and he described flying saucer-like craft that was supposedly alien technology that was being reverse engineered by the military. And it went viral. Let's say there's a Netflix show about him. So you can watch his take on Area 51 on Netflix if you want. He's still talking about it. He did write an autobiography too, apparently. So this was the guy who promoted the rumor that it was about alien technology. I'll leave it up to all of you whether you agree with the official military line that it was for testing military aircraft, or whether you agree with Bob that it's secret alien technology that's being tested there. But there is some interesting land-related facts, as I was saying, with Area 51. The government seizure of land in order to keep the base private and unviewable was one. Another has to do with environmental disclosure laws. Apparently, Area 51 is exempt from all environmental disclosure laws or even cleanup laws. It's starting from 1995 when President Clinton issued a special determination exempting Area 51. And that actually resulted in a number of lawsuits because, sadly, some workers there have gotten sick from environmental contamination. There was a lawsuit over a worker there who died of liver failure and was found to have high levels of toxins in his body. So that's kind of a sad side of Area 51, that some workers there were exposed to environmental contamination. But an example of how or why environmental disclosure laws and cleanup laws are important. But Area 51 is still exempt from environmental laws, federal environmental laws. That's also maybe why you don't want to buy land right next to Area 51. And just a few other, there are a lot of photos now these days. It is still a patrolled area. There are these guys, the camo dudes. They're actually private contractors, but they patrol the area in these white pickup trucks so no one can go in. And it still has a no-fly zone above it. Even military planes will be grounded if they fly over it. To get to Area 51, those who work there take daily unmarked commuter planes called Janet flights from Las Vegas. So that's how if you wanted to get to Area 51, you'd have to take one of those flights or try to sneak past the camo dudes. And in 2019, there was a Facebook joke saying you can't stop us all. The idea was that if enough people went, they could storm Area 51 and get in. They didn't, but 2 million RSVP'd and thousands showed up, and it ended up turning it into a desert music festival. So fun things happen around Area 51 as well. And we can look at some more photos. Not all of these are great, but the official line was that Area 51 is the military's test site for new aircraft and has been the home of a number of high-tech, famous military airplanes over the years. Whether those planes were created due to alien technology or not, I guess I'll leave that up to all of you to decide. But you can see satellite views of the base here. And of course, there is a lot of land available in Nevada, private land still, if you are interested in owning land near Area 51. So that's just a fun little live stream today. Anyone have any thoughts? And here's a photo of the base. So that's it. That was just supposed to be a fun live stream for today. Tomorrow, I'll go back to more serious topics. Probably continue on how to make money from land. Do we have land coming up in Nevada? We do. Well, we should have some properties in Elko County coming up. Elko County is a little further away from Area 51, so you'll avoid the environmental. Where are Scully and Mulder when you need them? Yep. Maybe I don't know. I didn't see the end of X-Files. I don't know if they figured out the mystery of Area 51 ever. But you could buy land when we get it in Elko County and use that as a base to try and infiltrate Area 51 and figure it out for yourself. So we should have some properties in Nevada coming up, hopefully in a week or so. I will highlight them when they're on the live stream when they are here. And in the meantime, you can find all of our properties at land.goatcap.com. We do have properties in other states, of course. And in the description and the comment, I'll share our free gift, 17 Simple Ways to Generate Income from Land. And of course, we have our discount code. I highlighted our Pamlico, North Carolina property. So the discount code is for North Carolina. It's live in C200 for $200 off any of our North Carolina properties. That's valid till midnight. And it would apply if you also held a North Carolina property. All you do is go to our website, click buy or hold, and then put in the coupon code. And if you put in the coupon code when you held it, the coupon would apply when you do eventually purchase. So that's land.goatcap.com. And tomorrow, we can continue our series on how to make money from land. So thank you everyone for joining. I'll be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let me know if there are any topics you'd like me to cover. I'm happy to cover them this week as well. All our properties are at land.goatcap.com, and I will see you soon.